Okay, hello and happy Tuesday. So, for those I have not met before, my name is Lori, and I am a business coach who helps aspiring digital nomads and entrepreneurs to build profitable remote-based businesses that give them freedom of time and location and allow them to hit their financial goals of $10,000 per more or month in their business within a year or less. Today, I am joined by Joe, who is an entrepreneur with a CPA license. Joe has worked with thousands of business owners over a 35-year career. He's eager to help people succeed. It troubled him that most new businesses fail, and he was determined to find out why. So in 2010, after reading The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles and The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill, he got his answer. Success starts with mindset and intention, subjects that they don't teach in CPA school. Joe learned that this was the true culprit of failure in business, on top of an overly complex tax and compliance system, making it nearly impossible to start a business and stay in business. So his primary purpose has become teaching other entrepreneurs like himself the fundamental principles of success combined with the practical knowledge he acquired as a CPA. So new business owners do start out with the odds stacked against them, and the solution is definitely education and guidance. And Joe provides affordable business training and guidance through his Bedrock University, which is bedrockuniversity.com, and a full range of accounting services at a fraction of what most CPA firms charge through his Bedrock Business Builders website. And you can definitely contact Joe. We will give you his Instagram handle as well here at the end, but you can also visit his website, Time with Joe, to book some time with him. So, Joe, if you could just kind of expand on that and just tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your story beyond what I just said there?
Well, a couple of things. First, I noticed that you didn't even try to pronounce my last name.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties.
I think you were afraid. You forgot, and you were afraid of butchering it. Am I right?
A little bit, and my name is. That's why I shortened mine to Lori K most of the time, because I have that same problem with my own name.
Yeah, so it's DiChiara. But every other podcast, every other time somebody has to introduce me, they're like, "How do I pronounce your name?" Yeah, that's funny. The other thing is, I think you said it all. I think we could end the podcast right now as far as what I do. But I wrote that a long time ago. I mean, except for the end part. And I'm listening to it. One thing I realize is it's way too long. It's way too long. Nobody cares about a lot of that stuff. I didn't realize that. I probably wrote that like 8 years ago, believe it or not. But everything you said there is, I'm still doing that. Which is, for me, it tells me that I'm still on track.
That is, and that you are helping lots of entrepreneurs, which I am excited to talk to you kind of about in more detail, some of those different things. And I do want to encourage anybody who is tuning in to feel free to drop any questions for Joe and or myself in the chat as we go through this conversation. But at the very least, if you're watching, whether it's live or in the replay, go ahead, say hello. If you're watching in the replay, make sure you include a replay in there. But if you're there live, go ahead, say hello. Let us know where you're at in the world. And Joe, I know, obviously as a business coach who works with a lot of entrepreneurs, I know that the things that you have to talk about are very valuable, not only for myself, but for my clients and those people in my audience. And, I want to talk a little bit more about how you can get and keep more money for your business, because I know that's one of the things that you specialize in. And I think I can speak for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially those when they're starting out, how important that is. But it's always important, right? So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. first I'd like to tell your audience to pick my brain, try to stump me, because I love when people pick my. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but when it comes to what I do, I'm still waiting for somebody to stump me. I don't know about relationships. I don't know about a lot of things. Okay, but I do know about what I'm going to talk about now. And so what I've done, and this is what accountants do. Accountants take systems, and what looks like it is complex to most people, and it might be. But what I've found out is even the simplest systems, if you're not familiar with it, you have no idea how it's working, correct? So what I've been able to do with my God-given talents and my experiences, I look at people's system and I could break them down to the lowest common denominator. Eliminate all of the unnecessary steps for everything, not just the accounting process. You see, that's how I got my training. But the truth is that the approach, my approach, applies to everything. It applies to everything, whether you're moving or trying to build something. It basically, it's like a mathematical formula. and so on the success thing, let me first say that I'm not a success coach. I don't even know if I'm an expert. I just know a lot about it from what I read in books. And what I've tried to do, and I think, pretty successfully so far, and I'll tell you, how and why, because I do have physical proof. I have real proof that it's working for me. And these are the principles that I apply to my life and my business and everything really now. And this might come as a shock, but the starting point for success is very, very simple. Take money out of the equation.
Okay. So how does that work, and how does that help us to get and keep more money? If we take it out of the equation, I'm curious. You piqued my interest now.
Okay, good, because that's what the idea is. What do you mean take money out of the equation? Aren't we supposed to make money? I'm an accountant. Do you really think that I'm going to tell you to ignore the money? I'm counting all the money. And I'm helping you squeeze as much profits out of the business. That's what I care about. That you have long-term success, generate profits and positive cash flow. But if you start your business just worrying about how much money you're going to make, one of two things will happen, usually, and there's always exceptions to this. But the first thing is you won't make any money. Millions of people start out saying, oh, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to make money, and they never make a penny. They don't make, literally. And I've seen some people try for years. And I've had clients like that, and I have to tell them, listen, this isn't a business. Go get a job at Starbucks. You'll make more money. It's the truth. I tell people the truth, the way I understand it, based only on, working with thousands of business owners over 35 years. And a lot of the stuff I do now in my accounting practice, I learned in the first 2 years in accounting. It hasn't changed. And people haven't changed. And the other thing that can happen is you make a ton of money. And then you know what happens? You're not prepared for it. Because all you've been thinking about is money. You're not thinking about your family. You're not thinking about God. You're not, and the people that do that pay a heavy price. Okay? And they, a lot of times, one of the richest clients I ever had, he was worth a lot of money. Yeah, he owned restaurants, buildings. And he was one of the most miserable people I ever met. This guy could have wrote a check for $2 million and it would clear. Not many people have that much cash, but he was always angry, and his kids couldn't wait for him to die so they could split up his money.
That's
And I said, I don't want that.
no.
That's not what I want. You could keep your 10 million. I'd rather. And then I saw people that had no money but were happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't want that either. I want the money and I want to be happy. So how do I do it? How do I do it? And what I learned in CPA school and in business was, you do your accounting work. You look at the numbers, where are you spending your marketing money, you manage your time. And I had some success in my own business,
Okay.
but not what I wanted. I wasn't free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't have unlimited money coming in. I couldn't go out. I couldn't write a check for $2 million. I could, but it'll bounce.
Your accountants usually advise against that, right?
I'm sorry?
Your accountants probably advise against that.
Yeah. Well, you probably go to jail for that, and I'm claustrophobic. I'm not. That's why I try to do everything on the up and up. And the science of getting rich told me there's no reason to cut corners and cheat people and try to get the best deal. It's more about abundance. It's like, how do I pay this forward? Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, the more service you put out there, this is what I learned. If you're a taker, what happens is you take stuff and it's taking double the amount out. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you're giving, when you love what you're doing, when you love the people that you're helping, it's almost like, you know what, I don't even care about the money, but that's when the money starts coming in. Mm-hmm. And that's so why I say take money out of the equation.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to think about it, but I, as somebody who has faced that as well, you're totally right. I agree with you. Yeah,
here's the other thing. I said, because time is what do they say? Time is money. I say time is precious. So I'm like, why are we wasting time on the obvious? If you're in business, if you're not generating money, you don't have a business. If you don't have something that somebody's willing to pay for, you don't have a business. So, and I start out my coaching, when I start coaching people, I ask, there's two essential things. You need to have sales and you need to have cash flow. Without those two things, you don't have a business.
Right. And
those are the clients that I had to tell. I wouldn't keep working with people like that. I'm like, it's too much pain and suffering. You're living below the poverty level, and I just can't. Go find another account. And I would refer them to people that, accountants that I know. It's not like I would just leave them, but it was just, heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, I want to learn a little bit more, terms of, really, well, a couple of things. You told me there's ways to find free money. I'm curious about that. But also, just talking a little bit more about, the training and how a training program can really help your business to be successful. When you have that abundance mindset, along with the proper training, how that will set you apart from others.
Okay, so the free money, the truth is there is no free money, because it's coming from somewhere, and if the government is printing it, it's not free, because that makes all the other money worth less, right?
Right, exactly.
And I don't like the term free, because then it makes it seem like it's easy. It's not easy. but it's available. Okay. I've always known it was available, but it was it was not worth my time to pursue it, if that makes sense. COVID changed all that.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of, not a lot, but a few of my new clients were getting grants. And I said, how are you getting this money? I mean, one client got 15 grand from, she lives in Hawaii. One of the local governments gave her 15,000 and she had to spend it in a week. And she hired her friends, one to do a $5,000 website, another one to do a social media campaign. I was like, I want to do that. And it turned out she's like, oh, all I did was, I've been writing grants for a long time. It's like a science. It's a science, but you got to know how to find them and then how to apply for them. So I just happen to have a very, very talented team. Okay. That includes an attorney that doesn't like being an attorney. So she works with us. And I was like, they're able to, she's like, I can do the research. I said, so let's offer it as a service to our clients. And what it is it's a journal every month. So we charge a fee to do the research because that's where all the time is lost. But it's a fee that, I mean, it's such a small fee for what we're doing. Let's say you signed up for this journal. Okay, we call it the Grant Journal. Where do you live?
Well, I'm a digital nomad, so right now I am in Wisconsin, visiting my family, but technically I'm homeless.
I know how that feels. I have friends that are worth millions and they're homeless. They live on planes and hotels.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not too funny. I mean, they like it, but so what we would do is you fill out a questionnaire. We find out all about what you're doing, and number one, if you qualify, because we're getting people. One guy said, "Oh, I want to get a grant to help me in my acting career." That doesn't work. It's got to be, we need a grant because if I have this money, I'm going to be able to help all these people. There's got to be some kind of, service. But the more local, the better. So what we'll do is we'll take your situation, we'll do all the research on it, we'll find specific grants that apply to you, and we put it in the journal. Everybody that applies for the journal, that is part of the journal, gets everything, all of our research, because other people's grants might apply to you too. Mm-hmm. So and then if you want to apply for one, you can do it yourself. A lot of them are just an application, believe it or not. I applied for a New York City rent grant, and it took me about an hour, but I'm going to get like over $10,000.
Huh.
I didn't look for that. My assistant did. I was like, can you find more of this money for me? And then we started a crowdfunding page. I'm like, we found the place in Indiegogo where you could set up a crowdfunding campaign for free. They'll take a percentage. But I was like, what? We can do this for our clients, I don't know anything. I mean, I know something about it, but this is the result of having a team. And we all pool our interest, our talents and experience, and it's an out of the box way for us to serve our clients and help. Who knows how many people we could help with that. Mm-hmm. Now, I know, I'm talking a lot, so you could cut me off if you want. I don't know how long.
No, you're making me think. So I guess.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, we're coming. We're usually about 15, 20 minutes on these little shows. But so I guess, the question that, our audience is probably wondering is, how do they get in on this? How do they either find their own grants? How do they get a hold of you? What are those next steps?
Easy. Well, they can go to Bedrock Business Builders. There's a tab up front on the top that says services, and right there they can get all the information they want on the grant program.
Okay.
If they want to book a chat with me, it's just timewithjoe.com. And please don't book a chat to pitch me about something. If you want to pitch me about something, then you can come to my mastermind group, which is free. And no, seriously, it's, I don't want to get into the whole, well, that's from Napoleon Hill, but that's mastermindwithjoe.com. But you did ask me another question about my program, my process.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we turned it into a group coaching program.
Okay.
Again, everything that we do is we price it so it's really, really affordable, starting from free, because that's our market. We're working with, sole proprietors and
right.
People that are just trying to start out,
Mm-hmm.
So doing it in a group setting, I can help a lot more people than one-on-one.
Yep, I agree 100%. I'm actually have just launched my own group program. So you're so right about that. It allows you to reach a greater audience and really share that help and information with so many more people.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of different parts to it. It's a 13-week program, which if you like it, then you can do it 4 times. But I cover, my principles, one of the principles every week, just not to teach people what my principles are, because I took all of mine from other people.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is a good principle for me, like rest.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that might not be a main principle for everybody, but just to show them that this is one of the ways to be successful, because it's people that have these built-in habits, right? Vince Lombardi said, winning is a habit. Aristotle said, you are what you can continuously do, right? So I try to follow these principles I might be at 30%. I'm not keeping score. Actually, I do keep score, but yeah, I'm probably at like 30%. So I got to up my game on that. But I'm looking at them all the time, like, oh, I got to have more faith. I gotta, one of them is to teach, not just to teach, but to keep learning. Yeah. And then we'll do a little bit of, hot seats, masterminds. We'll have a big thing that I'm teaching now is time management, because people that just get in business, they run out of time right away. I tell somebody, if an entrepreneur tells me, oh, I have free time, something's wrong. And so I have different lessons set up for every week. And then, I'm going to have like one time a week, I'm going to have like an open classroom. So if anybody wants to go through, something, we're going to have exercises. We're probably going to give away free gifts like brownies, and because people love that stuff. I can't believe it. All you got to do is buy somebody a brownie and they'll love you forever.
Well, I know I'm a fan of brownies, so awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for all of this information. And, entrepreneurs out there, if you're looking how to learn how to get some money for your own business and how to, act on all of these principles that Joe's talked about, go ahead and again, visit him at his websites. And again, Time with Joe is to book a free chat with him. So that's the most important one. And I also have up on the screen there his Instagram handle, which is Bedrock Business Builders. So go ahead and follow him and his business on Instagram as well. And if you are looking to get more money for your business, this is the man to go to. And just a reminder too on our end here for the Xennial Traveler, if you are looking to actually build the business before you can make it profitable, go ahead, join our group, the Build and Scale a Profitable Business Work from Anywhere group, and go ahead and let us know that you need that support. And between Joe and I think we have you covered.
Absolutely. I'm joining that group.
Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to having you there. And again, if you guys have questions, please go ahead, even in the comments in the replay, please go ahead, drop those, and we'll make sure that they get to Joe. Thank you again, Joe, for joining us, and everybody enjoy the rest of, I think I actually might have said happy Tuesday when we started. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and have a great holiday weekend if you are in the U.S.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, Joe.
You're welcome.